Welcome back to Ask Dr. Clarke. Today's topic, the narc denies your voice. One of the worst ways the narc abuses you is by taking away your voice. When you lose your voice, you lose everything. Today I'll talk about how the narc denies your voice and how you can begin to get it back. This video is based on information in my online video series From Codependent to Independent. More on that resource at the end of this video. The narc doesn't want you to have a voice about anything. You can't share good things that happen to you. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't care anyway. It's not about him. And your good news makes him insecure. He doesn't want you happy. You can't share tough things, concerns, stresses. He doesn't care anyway. And your stresses burden him. They're an inconvenience to him. And they can't amount to the stresses he's facing anyway. You can't share any criticism of him whatsoever. God forbid you criticize the narc. How dare you? He will make you pay. Proverbs 18:2 says, a fool, and a narc is a fool finds no pleasure in understanding, but delights in airing his own opinions. Whoa, pretty good description of a narc. The only voice the narc fool wants to hear is his own. He loves the sound of his own voice and everything that comes out of it. Your voice is only to be used to agree with what he says, support what he says, praise what he says, and obey what he says. Now, here are several ways the narc denies your voice. First, he denies your opinion. To the narc, you aren't a person. To the narc, you are nobody. So you have no right to a voice. His opinion is always right. It's the only truth. It's the only way. If you have the nerve to voice your opinion, and if it differs from his opinion, the narc will tell you you're naive, you're ignorant, you don't know what you're talking about, you are challenging his authority. Your opinion is stupid, your opinion is wrong. He'll tell you to shut up. Second, the narc denies your input on decisions. You're married to this man. Doesn't make any difference. Supposed to be a team, supposed to be one flesh. Genesis 2 says, not this guy. The narc is the 5-star general and you're the buck private. The general does not consult with the private on decisions. Why should he? That would be ridiculous. Your job is to say nothing, salute, and do whatever the narc says. Even if his decision is sinful, stupid, and you know it's stupid, or a complete disaster, and you know that. You can see it coming. What a good wife is for. The blonde Sandy has saved me from all kinds of disasters because I wasn't seeing it. You have zero input with a narc. You have zero input on decisions, at least decisions that are important to him. You may be allowed to buy the brand of paper towels you want. If it doesn't matter to him, fine. But if it matters to him, it'll be his way. If you have the nerve to give input on a decision, the narc will say he's the leader. He'll say you have to submit to me. You are challenging my authority, he'll say. He'll often mock your input, and he'll tell you to shut up. Third, he denies your personal life. Why would you marry someone and then not be interested in their personal life? What they think, what they feel, their hopes and dreams. Well, if you're a narc, it makes no difference to you. He'll pretend to be interested when he's dating you, and then like a light switch, after you marry him, no interest. When you're talking about something that interests you, something from your life, the narc will ignore you, act bored, because he is bored. His life is so much more exciting than yours could ever be. He'll talk over you. He'll pretend he didn't hear you. He'll pretend to be asleep. He'll walk away without warning. Insulting. The narc's indifference is emotional abuse. He doesn't care about your life, your interests, your emotional pain, your physical pain, your spiritual life. He doesn't care about you. He cares about him. This is emotional abandonment, emotional abuse. Now, if the narc actually listens at all, he will correct the details of your story because you don't have it right. He'll say, get to the point, which is crazy to say to most women. When Sandy's telling a story, she likes to be detailed. And a lot of things filter in, and that's part of the fun of listening to her. Well, not for the narc, it annoys him. Or the narc will hijack your story and start telling his own story that your story reminded him of. It always comes back to him. That reminds me of me. If you share something very personal, even embarrassing, the narc will often use it to blackmail you. I'll tell others about this personal issue unless you fill in the blank. Fourth, the narc denies your emotions. He does not want your emotions. Mr. Zero Empathy, the narc, hates it, actually hates you when you express your emotions. When you get emotional, the narc will tell you, you don't make any sense. You're too emotional. You're too sensitive. Your emotions are wrong. If you cry, he'll accuse you of being a drama queen and a manipulator. Yet newsflash, bonehead, narc, that women cry. They get emotional. Who cares? That should be your key to be empathetic and to care and to talk through something, not him. It annoys the heck out of him, makes him angry. Here's the impact of having no voice. 3 major impacts. First, it takes away your personhood and it destroys you. You have spent years listening to the narc's voice, his work, his accomplishments, his activities, his pain, his dreams. Allowing him to take away your voice is exhausting, frustrating beyond belief, deeply wounding. It takes away who you are. Your voice is who you are. Second impact is you lose your children. One of the main reasons I did the From Codependent to Independent video series, which is on the website, daviddclarkephd.com, Clarke with an E, is to protect your relationship with your children and keep the narc from alienating them against you. Look, if you have no voice, if your children do not hear and respect your voice because the narc has shut it off and you've allowed him to, you have no influence. You are a nobody to your children too. And they will side with the only person who has a voice in the home, even if it's a stupid, abusive, disrespectful voice. Third impact, you won't fulfill God's plan for your life. This is the worst one of all in terms of impacts. Satan, small s, wants to deny you your spiritual destiny, your purpose, your service to God. That's why you're here on earth. Satan does that by using the narc to take away your voice. You have no influence. Now, here are 2 things you can do to get your voice back, to get the whole package of how to get your voice back and how to get a lot of things back. Get that video series From Codependent to Independent. Here are 2. Let's start with 2 things. Share nothing personal with the narc ever again. Never be vulnerable with him again. You share your personal information, emotions, pain, triumphs, tragedies, hopes, day-to-day stuff, spiritual insights, with those who care about you and who you can trust. The narc's not in that category. 2, as you begin this getting your voice back process, journal. Write down. That's a way to express your voice. Journal your thoughts, emotions, opinions, and keep that journal in a safe place. The narc may try to find it and humiliate you with it. This journaling will give you strength and confidence as you begin to find your voice. Now again, to get your voice back, to get strong enough to leave the narc and protect your relationship with your kids and protect your kids against the narc, get that online video series From Codependent to Independent. 21 things you must do before leaving your narcissist, small n. And you'll find that on the website, daviddclarkephd.com. Also, I recommend my new devotional for the Escape from the Narc journey, I Will Be Free. We're selling a lot of these. Women and some men are really finding this helpful in the escape process. The words of people that were living with narcs and maybe still are living, the things that God has done to change their lives and to empower them. I think I Will Be Free will be a great addition to your David E. Clarke library.